right into you.
Sounds good.
Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert with the Ted Show. We are back. It's Monday, crazy rainy Monday here where I'm at, but we're going to have a lot of sunshine here from the one, the only, the talented Lauren Jaimes. Welcome to the show, Lauren.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited. I love any time someone comes on who is a musical guest, has a great background. You got a great hat going on, so you got the whole vibe going. But before we get into music, let's tell them a little bit about you. So share some of your origin story, your beginnings.
Yeah, so I actually grew up in Miami, Florida. My parents were both missionaries before I was born, and they traveled from country to country playing music and writing Christian music in Spanish. So when we moved to Miami, I grew up with music already in the house all the time. And so most of my influence for guitar and songwriting comes from my dad, because he would always be singing and playing guitar around the house. So I've always been drawn to music, but I never, thought of it as a career or thought of pursuing it until I moved to New York City, actually. So now I'm in Brooklyn, New York, and it's true what they say about the energy here. It really is very motivating, and I was a little bit afraid of being on stage for a long time, and New York kicked that out of me. So I'm glad, and now I'm pursuing.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So somebody who loves music, who loves to perform music, you had a little bit of stage fright?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all growing up I did. I actually, even in college, I tried to get out of the required speech class because I hated it. I hated being in front of people. And I didn't ever think it was something that I was going to get over, but my now fiance really pushed me to go to open mics. And he really saw something there and thought if I could get over this, I could really do it. So went to a bunch of open mics over the last few years, and now I'm playing shows, and I'm so happy that I was able to sort of get over that.
Well, it's a lot. It's different. People don't realize if you're not a stage person, when you get on that stage, you kind of have that weight of the world on you because all of the performance is up to you. Whether they love it or don't love it is up to you. Your talent needs to be ready, whatever that is, whether it's vocal or comedic or whatever. And so you really have to be on your A game. But I love the fact that you practiced, that you got used to it by doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people don't do it. So let's talk about your music in general. You identify yourself as a country artist. Why?
Yeah, so my storytelling, or my style of writing music rather, is very storytelling based. I love trying to tell a story from beginning to end, and so country music has that really authentic side of it, and the three chords and the truth. Everybody's heard that kind of quote, and so I just was drawn to the authenticity and honesty of country, and I thought that my music was a good fit for that. So it's kind of like a country folk Americana kind of a vibe, I think.
I saw that description. I love that because I think people are looking for music that makes them feel something positive. And so I 100% believe that your music does that. Let's talk about the music itself. Do you write the songs? Do you collaborate with people? Do you record other people's songs? How does that process work?
Yeah, so far, everything that I've put out, I've written myself, and I have had, I guess, the good fortune of being able to take sort of a rough draft of a song and show it to my fiance, get another set of eyes on it, and he really helps me, go through it, and if anything doesn't make sense, make some little adjustments and that sort of thing. But I would like to, at some point, do some collaborative songwriting with other writers. I've done it a little bit in the past, but I haven't yet put out a song that's been a collaborative effort. So hopefully in the future, I'll be doing.
So, what was the impetus? What was the idea behind "Home Is Where You Are"?
Yeah. So I had a debut EP that came out in 2018, and it was a collection of songs that were very introspective, kind of sad, a little bit more low key. And so for this project, I wanted to come out with a single that was sort of the opposite of that, like very outgoing, would make people feel good, very happy, upbeat. And so I got the melody for Home Is Where You Are, and then I had recently gotten engaged, and so the lyrics sort of reflect that of, you know, wanting to be with someone, and if you're with that person, that's where your home is. You don't need material things to make a house, I guess.
So does it just come to you? We had some questions before we went live. Does it just come to you? Where does the magic happen as far as your ideas for a song, the melody? Does it all come to you in one clump? Do you dream about it? I actually had somebody say, ask her if she dreams about it, because I guess a lot of talents dream some of that stuff. So what's it like for you in that process?
Yeah, so my best friend is my voice memo recorder on my phone, because it's really true. I feel like any melody idea, and sometimes the writing ideas will just hit out of nowhere. You can't predict it, and it'll usually, for some reason, hit at the most inconvenient times. So it'll be, you know, right when I'm about to fall asleep, or if I'm going through TSA, or if I'm, you know, about to walk into the doctor's office or something, something will pop into my head, and I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta record this so I don't forget it, and then come back to it later.
So tell me what the process was like. It's one thing to be a singer-songwriter, a talented one. You have the look, you have the vibe, you have the talent, and then it's another thing to try to push through to success, because musical artists, it's a whole new world out there. First of all, COVID shut down any performing outside, and then a lot of people go digital, and people are making things on their own. So what was it like to try to get to the point where Home Is Where You Are is on CMT?
Yeah, so one of the silver linings of the sort of the quarantine was that I had so much more time to be able to sit down at the computer and send out press emails and do marketing and try to reach out to these different people and programmers and publicity places that I normally wouldn't have that kind of time to do, since I'm not able to really go out and play on stage. And so it really was just a lot of behind the scenes, sitting down at the computer, you know, not glamorous at all, sending out tons of emails, and just trying to make connections and show people the music, and hopefully, you know, get it up where I was hoping it would get up. So,
well, it's done phenomenally well. What was that like when you're like, oh my God, my song is on CMT? Like, I'm excited for you. So what was that like? Did you have a big party? Did you know?
Yeah, so that was very exciting. I had been in touch with the people at CMT, and so I knew that they had told me that it was going to come out the next week, but you know, you never know. It's not really real until it's real. And so when I did see it online for the first time on their website, I was so excited, like totally floored, because they really are the authority on country music. And for them to include my video was very special to me.
I love it. What do you think attracted them to your video? Because I love the title of the song, but and I can't wait for you to sing it for us. But I feel like they have this arduous process, I'm sure, of how they screen them through. And so something about yours must have lit a fire for someone or inspired someone.
Yeah, I think my best guess would be it is a one-shot video, which is pretty cool. So it's all done in one take. There is no editing. And also just the energy of everyone on set. We pretty much knew everybody on set. The artist community is pretty supportive, and surprisingly small, I guess, in New York City. I feel like everyone kind of knows everybody. And so I was able to get a bunch of artists that we already knew to come and do this super fun project with me. And so I think just the energy is really high, and it was a lot of fun to film. And I think you can kind of get that vibe from the video, how much fun it was.
I love it. All right. So I would love for you to sing it for us if you are up for it.
Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah, this is
All right.
the Home is Where You Are. Don't have chocolate to welcome night. Don't own any art to hang for guests tomorrow night. Bathroom towels are not for me. Pillows on the sofa seats. Never been a thing I thought I'd need. So what makes the house a home? Did you know that there's nothing in this world I'd rather do? More than spend my time running around with you. So take me home where I belong. You know my home is where you are. California, Texas, Tennessee, as long as you are next to me. My home is where you are. Oh, one pair of dusty cowgirl boots. I had a gold 6-string, but she don't compare to you. Mama always said to me, ain't no sense loving to your eyes. You can't bring me into heaven when you leave. So what makes the house so? Did you know that there's nothing in this world I'd rather do? More than spend my time running around with you. So take me home where I belong. You know my home is where you are. California, Texas, Tennessee, as long as you are next to me. My home is where you are. So take me home where I belong. You know my home is where you are. Talladega, Tampa, Telluride, as long as you are by my side. My home is where you are. My home is where you are.
I love everything about that song because it reminds me, I'm an old school country guy. So I love it. It's got such a great wandering, you have a great voice that kind of gives off this impression of, all right, I got this. I know where I'm at. Home is definitely where you are. What do you want to do next?
So we do have some songs that we're hoping we'll be able to get into the studio to record pretty soon here. We want to do another big release, like an EP or an album, in the very near future. So obviously the quarantine put all of that on hold. So yeah, hopefully in the next couple weeks I'll be back in the studio, and then we do have a couple of more music videos that we have coming through the pipeline that we want to start working on as well. So lots of new stuff.
What do you tell somebody who, we had lots of questions about this before we went live. What do you tell someone who says, all right, I think I have a talent. I think I know what I'm doing. I can write music, I can play, whatever, wherever they're at, about the process. What mistakes did you make that you would say, all right, here's what I wouldn't do, people?
Yeah, so I feel like especially for the songwriting process, you know, if you love writing, it's really difficult, especially for me, to see the song through a different lens other than my own lens. And it's sort of hard to step back sometimes, you know, and try different things, because you want to be right the first time. You know, you want it to be great the first time. And so I think the biggest thing I learned was to try to look at the song from another point of view, or maybe try a different melody out, you know, try 5 or 6 different, you know, variations of it and see which one is best. And that's hard for me because I like it to be right the first time, and I like it to be exactly how I thought it was going to be. But oftentimes it ends up being so much better if I can just look at it, you know, in a totally different way. So
I'm excited for you and your journey. Tell us how we reach out to you, how we purchase your song if we can, how we can get in touch with you and follow you. Tell us all that good contact information.
Yes, so my name is Lauren Jaimes, spelled Jaimes, and all of my music is on all of the platforms, so Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever you listen, Google Play, it'll be there. The music video to Home Is Where You Are is up on YouTube, so please go take a watch and subscribe. And then if you want to contact me, I feel like Instagram DM is probably the best way, Lauren Jaimes Music. And if you're interested in buying any merch or kind of learning a little bit more about me, you can definitely go to my website, which is laurenjamesmusic.com.
You were awesome. Thank you so much for taking time out.
Thank
That was
you.
amazing. All right. So much talent. You guys go out, support Lauren Jaimes. Home is where you are. Thanks so much for being on, Lauren. We'll be back later, guys. We love you. Support Lauren Jaimes. That's what we want to do.
Thank you.